Hi guys, I'm Sarah Sloan and you're listening to the Sarah Sloan Show. Guys, I really hope you're doing well. 2025, almost over. Don't even play around unless you want to. And if you consent to doing so, then that's okay. All right. Guys, I normally don't talk about this kind of stuff, but I've had so much trouble with this podcast episode. I almost wonder if it's even meant to come out or not. This is my third time recording it. Apparently this microphone, the first two times, was not picking up the sound connected to the camera. I didn't use a micro SD card, to be fair, but I never have had to. I've never had to. And then this time I'm using the micro SD card. It's going to happen. It's going to work. We're going to be okay. And that's on who? That's on who? Mary Had a Little Lamb. But yeah, enough about that. I really hope you guys are thriving, not just surviving. Halloween just happened. I went with my friend. We were the Monsters, Inc. characters.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow.
This is my second year trick-or-treating in my entire life. We never did growing up, and it's more fun now, to be honest. I'm kind of digging it now. And I've actually been told that back in the day, people didn't really tolerate older kids even trick-or-treating. Like if you were even 15, 16, 17, it was kind of frowned upon. Well, I'm a little bit older than that, and nobody said a word. Everything was fine. And yeah, we got lots of candy. At first, it was scary. We weren't getting candy, and I was like, what the heck is going on? What? What the what? And everyone's like, oh my gosh, go to this one road, go to this one road. We go to this one road. It's crowded out the wazoo. It was crowded. It was so crowded. And everybody had run out of candy. All the homes had. We go up to this one house. They have a little girl passing out Smarties. You know those candies, Smarties? They're terrible. I hate those kind of candies. What kind of candies do I like? I like Take Fives. Those are really good. Have you tried Take Fives? Those are really, really good. Just be careful, though. Once you start, you can't stop. Take 5. It's not just the name. You're going to take more than 5. That's what they should really call it. Take more than 5. Take Unlimited is what they should call it. Take Unlimited. So yeah. Okay, so that was fun. Did that. What else did I do? Or no, what else? What other candy do I like? Okay, so I also like Sour Patch Kids. I also like Airhead Sour Extreme Belts. I also like, do you know those Bucky candies, the Sour Belts as well? You got to be kind of careful with the sour candies though, because if you eat too much of it, you start getting rubbed raw a little bit and you start to kind of bleed and it's kind of gross. But that's only if you eat too much. Not speaking from experience. I used to really like peanut butter cups, but I don't know, I don't like them that much anymore. And I like them in ice cream, but Walmart makes a really good knockoff, but they stopped making it years ago. It was Great and Value Reese's. And I have always wondered why they got rid of them. Why are they off the market? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Okay, so then we were trick-or-treating, and then it was obvious we were at this rich person's house. I think they're a celebrity. It was like they had this full podcast set up. It was like very luxurious. The wife was hot. And 2 huge dogs. And she was like, come in or the dogs are going to run out. And we didn't come in because that's not safe. And so the dogs ran out and she was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, can you give me more candy? You're rich. Give me that rich candy. Yeah, you could tell if people got money based on the candy they pass out. I didn't get any Sour Patch Kids. And there are some bags. You can get very expensive bags of candy that have Sour Patch Kids. They don't play. It was fun to do it. It's fun. It's fun. I think it's a good thing as a whole. I don't like Halloween in the sense that sometimes people use it as an excuse to dress in an inappropriate way. As you can see, I'm fairly modest myself. I don't think I've ever shown skin. This you think is skin. It's actually a mask. And yeah, I'm wearing gloves right now. So yeah, I don't show any skin no matter what. No one's seen any inch of my skin. But yeah, that's one thing I don't like about it. I don't like all the gross costumes of like the blood and guts and that kind of stuff. I don't like anything of the occult, I'm not a big fan of. So, but the principle of, hey, kids, go out and knock on someone's door, learn door-to-door sales. No, I'm kidding. I think that's cool. Like, connection with the community, I think, is important. Oh yeah, typically you kind of, the whole point of trick-or-treating is you walk, burn off calories, then you get the shoogies after the fact as a reward. Well, I saw these kids, and they were in the back of an Escalade, and the Escalade would just drive them from house to house, and they would run out and then get the candy, go to the next house, run out, get the candy. And it's like, come on, just walk. What's a little walking gonna do? Kill ya? Okay, enough about Halloween. I'm done talking about it. Seriously, can we change the subject? Okay, I want to start off with this. This is more like, I saw this article and it really got me like thinking. It's a weird place to start, I know. Okay, so Wikipedia, have you heard of it? Do you use it? If you think about it, Wikipedia is probably going to go downhill because of AI. So whenever you make Google searches, how does it work for you? Google searches were never bad because Google searches allowed you to then click a website link and go to the website. Pretty nice, huh? Now, with AI, you'll Google something, and in the top, it'll have the search result that AI created for you. So a lot of times, you don't even have to go to a certain website anymore and click it. You don't have to use it anymore. So a lot of people are not using Wikipedia as much as they used to. And Wikipedia is donation-based, and a lot of people that work there obviously are only working there because of the donations, so the donations have been falling. I saw an article about this. It's kind of crazy. AI, I think, is going to take down Wikipedia. So we better finna watch out, because you're going to have to finna, or I'm going to finna hana, yeah, okay? So it's kind of sad because I really like Wikipedia. I don't always use it, and I've seen some inaccurate information. Like the page about me. Hey, excuse me? I don't have a unibrow. So delete that off my page. No, I'm kidding. I don't have a Wikipedia page. And I pray I never do. That'd be so scary. That should never exist. But yeah, so that was the first thought I was having. And then we got to talk about this. I haven't talked about it yet. Very sad. Charlie Kirk's death. Crazy. He was so young. And it almost seemed like he was predicting his own death. He had these text messages with Candace Owens where he was basically saying that. He's like, I don't think I'll get to see, the results of my work. Essentially, he was saying things like that. I have bad dreams where I wake up and I'm dead and all this stuff and whatever. And yeah, you see it happened, obviously. Imagine being there whenever you were watching him speak and debate and everything's normal, and then next second he's just shot. And I didn't even want to watch the video of his shooting, of the death. And I was watching Instagram stories like I always do. And then boom, on someone's story they put the video. And before I even knew what I was watching, I saw it and I was like, "Oh my gosh." And it was so graphic. I just told you I don't like the blood and the guts and the gore. And I really just didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see it. I think it's a really rough thing to see. So yeah, that was awful. And yeah, a 20-something-year-old shooting him off a roof, and they found out who he was. And yeah, essentially, the whole thing was obviously awful because really when you get down to it, he shot and killed somebody because he disagreed with their speech. That's not on his face. That's not a good thing. And if that happens more and more, a lot of people are going to start just being shot. The whole thing is awful. And the guy had a family, and now they won't get to be with their father. It's really rough. It's really rough. And I've watched his stuff throughout the years, and I think he really was being helpful to the culture. He was kind of molding younger minds, challenging narratives, especially in these college student bodies. Because, in college, a lot of times you're fed from professors just a certain way of thinking, and it's almost never challenged. And I remember growing kind of frustrated with that personally. I wasn't a big fan of it. There were some classes I had where I was just like, what? And I would actually be the person that would kind of push back a little bit. Yeah, I remember one class was talking about cultural appropriation, just like, hey, you shouldn't wear another culture's costume. And then I was like, hey, well, I went to Bangladesh whenever I was younger on a missions trip. And the people there were literally telling us that we needed to get their costume, although it's not a costume, wear what they wear to respect their culture. So I was like, so what do you do in that situation? They're like, they didn't have anything to say. And so, yeah, it's like I was the only voice that was like speaking out against this certain line of thinking. And Charlie Kirk did that times a million kajillion. He was always doing it. I'll probably play a clip of a very famous debate moment or whatever. Although there's millions of them. You could go down the rabbit trail of watching Charlie Kirk debate moments. If you ever watch those Jubilee videos on YouTube, those are really good too. And Charlie Kirk just swept the flow with that. So, yeah, I think the guy probably would have been a president of the United States one day. He was that good. So, yeah, very sad. And then there was a whole aspect of Jimmy Kimmel. And it's almost like you think of that more than you think of the actual death now. He was speaking on his show and just like basically insinuating that the shooter was MAGA, was to the right. And that doesn't make any sense. If the person was to the right, why would they shoot Charlie Kirk, who's also to the right? That doesn't make any sense.
Hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. You can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction.
The day following the monologue, prosecutors in Utah County, Utah indicated that the killer was not a supporter of President Donald Trump, but rather of the political left, and viewed Charlie Kirk as an enemy of the trans and gay movements.
And so then that got pretty ugly. His show got taken down, and people were thinking it was an issue of free speech. I don't know. I think I'm going to push back against that a little bit. I don't really know if that was an issue of free speech. So it seemed to me, and I could be ignorant in a lot of this, but yeah, it seemed to me that it was more companies deciding not to air his show. So it's like, there's a lot of companies that will fire employees for not liking what they're saying. There's even if a teacher says something in the classroom that is, inappropriate or whatever, they could get fired. Then there's the argument of, well, what if they say it outside of work? Could they get fired? Or is that an issue of free speech? And then some people say, well, they're still representing the school, so they still should get fired. So then it's a dicey argument. Versus the company decided not to air his show, like they weren't going to air it anymore. He was speaking on the job. They have every right to do so. That's where I got confused. I really did. I was just like, I don't think it's a issue of free speech. Now, a lot of people then, are thinking, well, it has to do with the Trump administration. In my opinion, if there even was influence, even if someone in the administration was calling up the people in charge of the company and saying, hey, take this guy off the air, isn't that technically what the Biden administration was doing with Mark Zuckerberg, where they were influencing Mark Zuckerberg to get rid of Hunter Biden laptop stories off of Facebook and all of that? What's the difference there? So I don't know. It's like, what's okay, what's not okay? I'm not sure. And then, but yeah, I will say this. I know Nexstar is a company that did this. They are trying to have a merger. And I wonder if This is a theory. I wonder if they were trying to appease the Trump administration by doing something that maybe they would like, by getting rid of one of their enemies, Jimmy Kimmel, taking his show off the air, and then being like, hey, do you approve this merger now? Now is it okay? But also, like, keep in mind, Jimmy Kimmel is highly overpaid for a declining show. That show, it's not like it's got the highest viewership. And people aren't watching TV like they used to. Are you watching your local ABC channel all the time? I don't know anybody my age that is watching their local ABC news channel and waiting till the late hours of Jimmy Kimmel's show to air. I don't know anybody that does that. I know some people maybe that actually no. I was going to say I know some people that watch it on YouTube. No, I've never spoken to somebody that's like, yes, I watch all of Jimmy Kimmel's YouTube channel videos. Never heard that before in my life. Maybe someone's like, oh, this was a funny moment on the show. But even then, I can't even tell you the last time I've seen that happen. So who's watching this guy's show? Who? And he's paid $15 million a year. And I saw with bonuses and stuff, it could potentially be going up to $24 million a year. That's a lot of money. And that's not talking about the crew and all the equipment used to operate the show. That's not talking about any of that stuff. So they're pouring tons of money into a dying show. And it's a smart business move to get rid of him. Was that maybe the most strategic way to do it? No. And so obviously there was enough blowback and pushback that the guy got his show back, and then he gave an apology that I think was a really dumb apology.
It was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. I don't think there's anything funny about it. I posted a message on Instagram on the day he was killed, sending love to his family and asking for compassion, and I meant it, and I still do. Nor was it my intention to blame any specific group for the actions of what it was obviously a deeply disturbed individual. That was really the opposite of the point I was trying to make, but I understand that to some that felt either ill-timed or unclear, or maybe both. And for those who think I did point a finger, I get why you're upset. If the situation was reversed, there's a good chance I'd have felt the same way. I have many friends and family members on the other side who I love and remain close to, even though we don't agree on politics at all. I don't think the murderer who shot Charlie Kirk represents anyone. This was a sick person who believed violence was a solution, and it isn't. It ever.
Didn't make any sense to me. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry that you... It's the same way that a lot of people like to apologize. Sorry that you felt that way. Sorry that you heard it that way. It's like, dude, okay. Great apology. And then just... I don't know. It's not a good look when people just like cry all the time. Like, I can do it right now. Like, okay, I just cried. Now do you like me? How do you like me now? Okay, so yeah. We will miss Charlie Kirk is my point. And yeah, I'm very sad about his death. And yeah, it just makes you realize that you could lose your life any moment and you're never guaranteed another day. So, you know, it definitely made me appreciate my father more because his kids now don't have a father. And yeah, and then just all the people in your life, you know, if you fought with somebody over something stupid, go get it resolved because you don't know, they could be dead the next day and then you're always going to be thinking about that. So if you have a stupid fight with somebody that you know isn't really that serious, it's not actually a serious thing, go forgive them and release yourself from that burden that is just killing your mind. Yeah, we're never promised a tomorrow. The Bible says that. Like, yeah. So, okay. So, next topic. Oh, yes. Okay. I know it's kind of weird to promote another podcast on your own podcast, but I can't help it. This podcast is so good. Oh, I like this podcast a lot. It's called The Nerve with Maureen Callahan, and it's like entertainment and gossip. Guys, it's so good. It's so good. Do you understand me? Are you hearing me? It's good. Even if you're not into the entertainment and the gossip, you know, news and all that kind of stuff, it's still just so enjoyable to listen to. I really like Maureen. I think she's a really intelligent person. She wrote a couple books that I read. American Predator was one of them, about a serial killer that I still hear nobody talking about. Another one was it's called Ask Not, and it's basically telling the stories of the Kennedy women, like their perspective, all this kind of stuff. It's a good book. It was fascinating. So yeah. I don't know if she has other books, but those two are really good. And then she's also written for the New York Post and the Daily Mail as a columnist. And yeah, essentially, Megyn Kelly hired her and gave her her own show on Megyn Kelly's network. And that's what this is now. And oh my gosh. And so yeah, so she's so well read. She's so intelligent. She has a different perspective. She's not like just your common person, but she knows how to communicate well. It's a silly, fun podcast. She tells stories about celebrities that you've never heard of before, all kinds of stuff. She's really she understands the media like fully. So yeah, I'm obsessed with that podcast. It's on YouTube. Obviously, I'm biased. I want to watch it on YouTube. I'm not going to listen to it whenever I know that she's putting all the work into how it looks and the clips and all that kind of stuff. It takes a lot of work to do all that. So yeah, I definitely watch it. But yeah, she's hilarious.
Before we move on, can I just say that in the Bloomberg interview, I feel like Megyn takes like a little bit of a swipe at us because she insists that people love her Netflix show. And she claims that the people who criticize it are just trying to pay their bills. And she's like, if you can live like that, at your detriment, that's fine. And I just wanted to say that I think it's a little ironic for Meghan Markle to dismiss critics as just trying to pay their bills when much of her own income over the last 5 years has come from criticizing the royal family. That strategy has paid her bills too. And that's for her to sort out if she's comfortable doing it at Harry's family's detriment. You've said this a million times. Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth died feeling under attack from their grandson and his wife. Some might call it elder abuse, but Harry and Meghan might just call it paying the bills.
You know what, Kinsey? I never really planned to share this, but before Meghan Markle hit the scene, I was actually homeless.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't pay my bills.
And it's cool too, because she hasn't been doing this podcast for that long, and she's not like a podcaster. So watching her get more and more comfortable and become a better and better presenter is fascinating as well. So I really admire her. I like it a lot. And then she'll talk about like narcissists and things like that. That's helpful stuff, like trauma bonding. Guys, trauma bonding. Look that up. Look up the stages of trauma bonding. It's scary. I'm realizing even now, like some relationships that I've had recently that were actually trauma bonding. And it's kind of freaking me out because I didn't know. And that's the thing. That's the whole point. They trick you. So it's like, dang, I needed that. I really needed that. But yeah, she's great. So if you need to listen, and then if you do listen to it, let me know. Hey, hit me up. Tell me if you listen to it. Oh, this is something I've kind of been thinking about a lot is, the year is almost over, as I was saying before. 2025, bye, almost. And 2026, hello. Sorry, that was so cringe. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry. And I've been thinking about what planner do I need to buy for the year? And it's been a big problem for me mentally. And it's been scaring me. Now the obvious question people ask is, why do you want to use a planner? Why don't you just use the calendar app on your phone? Okay. So I actually recently tried it out. And I'm going to be honest, I actually really like it. I like the phone app. But it's still nice to have a paper planner. It's not a bad thing. So I like it. I like the paper planner and I like the phone app. I think you can use both hand in hand. But still, that's like, what paper planner should I buy? So I've gone a bunch of ways with it. And I've done different planners in the past. So this one, it's like, yeah, it's about this big. And then spirals are a big thing. So spirals, they can either go pretty No, what am I trying to say? Spirals typically don't go very easily into like certain pockets in your bags. They get kind of caught and stuff. So then maybe you want a planner without a spiral, and then it slips in pretty easily. So that's something to consider with planners. But then, as far as being able to open it and, use both sides very easily and it stays open versus the kind, like spirals have its own benefit, is my point. There's pros and cons with everything. Then these pocket size planners, they're nice. They're nice because they don't take up a lot of space in your bag. But what I've been noticing, another thing, by the way, I like tabs on planners. I think that's going to be a new thing that I want to keep with. The tabs on the planners are nice because you can flip right to the page that you want. Then there is the thing I like is I like the monthly view. I like the monthly view of the calendar because you can see everything all at once. Then they have the weekly view. I don't use the weekly view that much. I really don't. It's nice. Some people probably use it a lot. I haven't used it a lot at this stage in my life. Maybe whenever I was in school and stuff, I would use it more, but I haven't been using it much. So the issue though with these pocket-sized planners, and if I'm using mostly the monthly view, well then if it's pocket size, the monthly view is not the greatest because the squares are pretty tiny. So you can only write so much information in each square. So like say I'm getting coffee with a friend in the morning, then I'm going to get lunch with another friend, and then I'm going to get dinner with another friend. Well, then the square's already packed out. That little square is already packed out. So then that's where I was getting kind of frustrated. Another frustration I was having is with 1 year planners. It's kind of frustrating as well because, well, do I need to already buy my new planner if I have stuff that's happening in the new year? Because stuff like that, like someone's wedding. Hey, my wedding's going to be next April. Oh, well, this planner's only for 2025. I don't have a 2026 planner yet. So then that's an issue too. And I know they sell multiple year planners. So that's what I did. I got this dollar planner from Walmart, and it's April 2025 to March 2027. So that's nice. But it's only monthly view. And as you can see, once again, because it's a small one, it is hard to fit all the stuff in these small squares. And then also there's no tabs for the months on this kind of a thing. So, but it's $1 to be fair. So it's like, I can't expect the world. So then what that got me thinking was, well, okay. We like the fact that it's multiple years. We want monthly tabs. We haven't decided on if spiral or no spiral is better. But maybe we need a bigger size without the weekly view and only monthly view. Well, this was my 2023 planner. This is bigger, obviously, as you can see. Yeah, this to this. Pretty substantial size difference. But this also had the weekly view. But then the monthly view, yeah, you can see it's so funny. I never used the monthly view back in the day. And I only used the weekly view. Now it's the opposite. I barely use the weekly view, and I use the monthly view mostly. But these squares are much bigger. I can fit more in these squares. So then, that's what I'm thinking I'll probably try to do. I think I'm going to try to find a planner that's about this size. It could potentially be a little bigger. Multiple years with monthly tabs if possible. I've also heard Etsy can make customizable planners. As long as it's not too expensive, I might actually do that. But yeah, then I can make a customized planner or something like that, unless Amazon already has it. And then I think that's going to be the solution. And then I can still use the phone app as well. And what's the problem with that, So, oh man, it's tough. It's tough out here. Hey, it's tough out here. Hey, it's tough out here. But I like planners. And then whenever I don't use them all, I'll just use those pages as notes because that's nice. Yeah, like I literally was using this weekly view planner to write all the topics I was going to talk about in my podcast. Isn't that crazy? And it's a nice heavy paper. Oh, so heavy. Hey, that's heavy paper. Hey, that's heavy. So yeah. Okay, enough about the planner stuff. If you have a favorite planner, let me know. Write it down in the comments. I'll look it up. I will look it up, and I'll consider buying it. At this point, I'm trying everything, it seems like. it can't be too big of a planner though. You know, it can't be too big. But I think it could be bigger than I thought it could be at first. So I will say that. Okay. Oh, okay. So this was a fun topic. I recently went to go watch Megyn Kelly on her live tour. She's been having a live tour. And I think this is probably the first time she's done it. I've never heard of her doing it before, but I went to San Antonio to watch her. And it was a really interesting experience. I normally don't go out of my way to like watch these kind of events. I usually just kind of stay home, make life easy for myself. But I was like, no, let's watch it because like, especially after this Charlie Kirk thing, it's just like, it's important to go out and like connect with people and like be in big crowds. It's good. I think it's a good, healthy thing. So yeah, so I went out, and yeah, it was obviously a pain in the butt finding parking, getting the tickets. I went alone. I actually went alone. And that was fun too. It kind of made me realize, I don't need to go with people to everything because I always do that. I always like usually try to bring someone along, but then the person's not into the whatever I'm going to. They're not into it. And then it's like, I'm just worried about how they're feeling about it. Instead, I could just be there by myself. I only got to worry about myself. I recently did that too. Sorry, a little tangent, but I went for the first time to watch a movie in the movie theaters by myself as well. Once again, I really enjoyed it. It was a good experience. So it's like, yeah, I think it's always been kind of frowned upon to do these kind of things alone, but I could definitely see the value of it now. And it's great to go with someone too, but yeah, for this especially, I think it would have been a much less enjoyable experience if I had brought someone with me. I would have hated having someone at this Megyn Kelly event. And yeah, but it was super interesting. They started the event with 2 comedians opening the show. Isn't that nuts? I thought that was absolutely nuts that they started with 2 comedians. And that was really cool for me too, because it's like, typically in comedy, you just think like, okay, I got to perform in clubs and hopefully one day arenas and all this kind of stuff. I'll get a Netflix special. You don't think, oh, maybe I could start out Megyn Kelly's live tour show and do some comedy. That's cool. That's cool to know that there's another avenue for you to get another gig. Like, that's exciting. And I'm sure they were very well paid. Now, also think about the audience there. What kind of jokes are they going to want to hear? They're probably going to want to hear some political jokes for right-leaning people. It needs to be a little bit of a cleaner set. So, stuff like that. Like, it's probably good to keep that in mind. But it was still just cool to know that that's always an option for me. I normally haven't done political jokes, at least not very, because then you're doing time-constrained jokes. It's nice to have timeless jokes. You know what I mean? Then it's like, if I joke about Helen Keller, I can do that for the rest of my life. If I joke about something with Kamala Harris, okay, well, she's really losing relevance in the political scene. So then I can't do that joke anymore. But at the same time, I think writing is a good skill no matter what. So I think I probably got to get out of that mind space a little bit more and just like learn and practice that skill of that. Okay, sorry, that was another tangent. But yeah, it was a very packed out place, and they had Glenn Greenwald as a guest, and also Emily Jahinsky. I've been told I look like Emily Jahinsky. I think we're almost the same age, and it was super interesting because Megyn was asking about her background, and yeah, she's Christian. I am too. So that was cool. And then also she asked, well, did you always want to be a journalist? And Emily was like, I want to be a stand-up comedian. And obviously now she's a journalist, and it's very fitting. She's a very good journalist, but she's also funny. So it's good. But it's funny because like the job I kind of wanted to do in college, I wanted to be like a journalist essentially. Like I liked that kind of stuff, whether it was like radio journalism or whatever. And I interned at a news station. So yeah, that was really, and obviously now I'm more interested in being a stand-up comedian. So it's almost like we're like, a little switch there, a little switch there, that's fun. So yeah, that was cool. And yeah, it was just really fun to go out there and see. Megyn is very charming on stage. She's a great communicator. She's kind of like Trump, where it's like, they obviously like they have security guards. They're driven places. They live in mansions, but they also know how to talk to the common man. Like she's talking and I'm like, oh, me understand. Thank you, Megyn. Thank you. Yeah, that was one of the things that first got me kind of liking Trump as well. Whenever he spoke, I was like, this is the first time I'm hearing a politician and I'm actually understanding what they're saying. Instead of people that are just like, like talking all hoity-toity. And I don't understand what they're saying at all. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, so it was really fun to do that. I'm really glad that I went, and it was totally worth the cost and the effort and time and all that. And you can actually watch it on YouTube as well. She put out all. I wonder if I had known that it was going to be released on YouTube later, if I would have gone. I don't think I would have, so I'm glad I didn't know, because it forced me to make the effort and go out there, Okay, so this was kind of fun. I follow the Washington Post on Instagram, and they've been, on my algorithm at least, it's been showing their advice columnist. And she'll basically read a question and then answer it and give her advice. Now, always keep in mind with these kind of things, it's very strategic which questions, because they get more than they turn away some, is my point. So the ones that they choose to show on Instagram, it's very strategic. First of all, I think they're definitely trying to put a contentious thing that a lot of people are going to want to comment on to then boost the video and get them more views. And then also, I think they're just trying to stir up controversy for sure, 100%. So basically the question was from a person that says that they are queer and they're a maid of honor for a wedding, and that the bride picked an officiant for the wedding who is anti-gay. And so this person wants to know, like, how they should handle the situation, if they should go and talk to the bride. And basically the advice columnist was like, yeah, I'm kind of surprised you haven't talked to the bride already, and you need to be prepared to know what you're going to do based on what the bride says. Because, this is, like, not okay, blah, blah, blah.
My friend booked an anti-gay pastor for her wedding. I'm the queer maid of honor. Should I say something? Well, I'm surprised you haven't said something already. Yes, say something. And I think you might want to think before you speak up what you're prepared to do. Whether you want to step away from the ceremony, the wedding, the friendship, or just stand there and recognize it's not your wedding. You guys have to talk. You're obviously close. I have to think the bride knows, but what the bride doesn't know is how you feel about it. If you were my maid of honor, I would want to know what position I'm putting you in.
And I found the whole situation kind of weird. It's kind of a weird thing. My first question was, what makes the officiant, what makes him anti-gay? Because, saying anti-gay is a very interesting way to describe someone. Like, if someone said they're anti-gay, I'm going to think that they are probably, like, protesting at gay weddings. They're probably, like, burning pride flags. They're probably, like, doing podcasts against gay people. I don't know. That's my take on it. They're probably trolling on Reddit or whatever. I think that's probably what anti-gay people are. And then there's people that are, like, Christians who follow the teachings of the Bible and believe a gay lifestyle is not one that God wants people to follow, and believes is a sin, which, by the way, there's many sins in the Bible, and it does not say that the sin of homosexuality is worse than other sins. It doesn't say that. It says blaspheming the Holy Spirit is an unforgivable sin, but it doesn't say anything necessarily putting homosexuality at another level compared to other sins. So then it's like, okay, like, I wouldn't see myself as anti-gay, but I do believe homosexuality is a sin. Call me crazy here. I think getting drunk is also a sin. I believe that's a sin. Am I anti-alcohol? No, I don't think it's good if people drink too much. I don't think that's a good lifestyle. I don't think that's a healthy lifestyle. So it's just kind of weird. It's just kind of a weird way to describe a person. And then also it's like, first of all, maid of honor, how'd you even figure that out? And then also, if you're so confident and strong in who you are, what does this have anything to do with you? Like, they're going to officiate a wedding. Like, who cares? They're not officiating your wedding. If they were officiating your wedding, then yeah, that's probably going to be a problem. If they're anti-gay, quote unquote, officiating your wedding and you're gay, then yeah, that's a problem. Because yeah, they're probably not going to end up doing the job that you want. But that doesn't seem like it's the case for this bride. So I kind of just don't know what the issue is here. And it almost makes it seem like the maid of honor is making this whole situation about, I assume, herself, rather than just being there and being supportive as a maid of honor. Like, you're not the decision maker in the wedding. You're a maid of honor. You're not the bride, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I just felt like these terms that we use, and it causes division among people for no reason. And yeah, I felt like the advice, that's crazy. Like, okay, so now you're going to go confront this bride and be like, hey, you have an anti-gay officiant, and I'm not going to be a part of this wedding if you keep that person. Awesome. Okay, you got what you wanted. Then the bride's like, okay, we're going to switch out the officiant. Yay! Cool. You just changed the world. Like, who even cares? It's not about you. It's not your wedding. Chill the freak out. Yeah, and if it bothers you that much, which I don't even know why it should, then go be somebody else's maid of honor. I thought the advice was pretty dumb. Pretty dumb. Okay. What else? Oh, this was an embarrassing story. Okay, so I went shopping with my friend at H-E-B, the grocery store in Texas. And I was wearing these Birkenstock sandals that I love a lot. I love these sandals a lot, okay? And I actually had to recently replace these sandals because I was wearing them at a hotel and I forgot them there. And normally at a hotel, they're just going to put the stuff in lost and found. That's just what they do. Well, I left them there. I called back like later that night, the same day. And they're like, oh, we looked, we can't find it. Yeah, we just don't know where they are. And I knew. Oh, I knew. They lied. They lied. They were lying to me. They were lying. Oh, totally. They're the best sandals on the planet. Like in some ways, I was kind of like, you have good taste. I can't even blame you for stealing my sandals. I really couldn't. I couldn't even blame you. I was like, you know what? Props to you, little baby. Little tiny, little cute, precious baby who steals sandals. I couldn't even blame them. So yeah, so then I bought a new pair. Birkenstocks aren't cheap, by the way, but they're very good for your feet. And my grandfather used to always say, never cheap out on tires and never cheap out on shoes. So, I try to follow that. Like, I try to get discounts where I can, but at the end of the day, like, don't get Vans. Vans, it's flat. It's not good for your feet. I'm literally wearing Birkenstocks right now. So then I'm in this grocery store and I was, with my friend. And so then I was like, I'll kick off the sandal and it'll flip down the aisle. I don't know why I wanted to do it, but yeah, whatever, I did. And so I kick, but the sandal doesn't go down the aisle. The sandal goes on top of the shelves. And it doesn't go just on top of the shelves. It goes in between the shelves. So I couldn't even get them. And I was like, oh, great. I just lost another sandal again. I don't need just one sandal. I need two. So I'm like, one of my feet is bare. And so then we had to call the employees. And the employees had to go. And thank God, they had trouble, but they were able to fish out the sandal. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. And they were just like, how'd this happen? How'd this happen? I was like, listen, I was trying to be funny. I was just trying to do a little kick. I'm sorry. And yeah, they didn't think it was funny. And honestly, all power to them. Because it wasn't funny. It was disgusting what I did. And I should know better. And I wasn't proud of myself. It was a low moment. So, yeah. Sorry, H-E-B. That's why I shop at Walmart. I was so glad that I did that at an H-E-B and not a Walmart. Because if I had done that at a Walmart, then I'd have to start shopping at H-E-B and spending all my money. I love saving money and living better. Walmart. W for the win. HEB, more like HE broke. HE broke. If you want to go broke. I don't actually mean that. HEB is a very nice store. Walmart is a little cheaper, and I do like to save some money. If I'm wealthier, then I'll go to HEB, okay? I just was getting a quick ice cream with a friend. Can we change the subject, please? Okay. Let's see. I've been trying to read more. Is that fun? Because I need to read more. And Maureen Callahan, she's been kind of like influencing me, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta get into this again. I gotta do this. So I read one book, and one of my friends, she was able to read it in 2 days. And she was like, oh my gosh, it's like a movie. I was so captivated. I was so into it. And I was like, okay. And so then I read it, and it takes me months. But I did finish it, and it was very good. It was called Dark Matter. It was about quantum physics. And there was there's romance in it too. So it was actually really good. I was into it. And now I'm reading a book called Midnight Library. And once again, it's taken me forever, but it is good. It is good as well. So yeah, I think reading is important. Readers become leaders. Part of me is like, should I get a Kindle? Would that influence me to read more? But then it's like, no, I'll just have another piece of tech that I'll never use. So it's like, I can read off my phone. I can read off my phone. It's fine. But then I never do, even though the app is right in front of my face. I never do it. So, oy, caramba. Oy vey. Oh no. Okay. What else? Guys, okay, let me talk about this. It's been a recent frustration of mine. There's a couple people I've encountered that are like, I like to work out, and I like doing pole dancing to work out. And I'm just like, do you? You like doing pole dancing to work out? That's really a thing you like to do? You like to pole dance to work out? And I can see right through the crap. I can see through the crap. I know exactly what's happening. They're just trying to do what the boys want to hear. So then they're talking to a group of boys, and they're like, yes, I love working out. And the boys are like, yo, I like working out too. I like lifting weights and doing squats and deadlifts, and yeah, what do you like to do? And then she's like, oh my gosh, I love pole dancing. That's what I do to work out. I love pole dancing. And then the guy's like, hey, that's pretty hot. Do you want to get in my car and we could go to Cheesecake Factory and go on a hot date, and you can tell me about this pole dancing that you do for fun, for a workout? She's like, yeah, that sounds really cool. Versus there's girls like me, and I'm like, yeah, I like to work out. And then the guys are like, okay, what do you like to do? And I'm like, oh, I'll like walk on the treadmill or like run a mile. I'll do those machines, the arms, work on my biceps, and I'll kind of work out my quads a little bit, and maybe do some sit-ups and foam roll, and then I'll get in the sauna. That's fun. And then the guys are like, hey Sarah, can you leave? And I'm like, yeah, I'll head out. I'll take the first train back in the morning. And they're like, no, not in the morning, right now. And I'm like, okay, I'll take the first train back right now. It's all right. It's not sexy. My workout isn't sexy. But I'm also not trying to be something. I'm not trying to be a little nasty. Oh, I like pole dancing. It's a really good workout. It's so good. Like what? Are you just what skills are you learning that are helpful for everyday life? Like, I'm learning to walk away from trouble on the treadmill. I'm learning to, gosh, I'm trying to do this on the spot. I'm learning to lift my burdens to then throw my burdens out. I'm learning to punch the haters away. I'm learning to heat out my haters. I'm learning to my haters. I'm learning to foam roll out my haters. Okay. So that's what I'm learning to do. It's kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same thing as whenever girls are like, it's just as fake. This is just as fake as a thing. Whenever girls are like, I really like football. I really like watching football. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, you don't. You're lying. You're a liar. And that's scaring me. I'm scared. Is it Halloween? Because I'm still scared. I hate it. I hate when girls say that. Nobody believes them, right? Like, no, but like you can't actually believe that they actually like Football? Football? The most boring sport known to man. I mean, mind you, I went to OU. I went to a college football town. I couldn't even leave my dorm on game days. It was so scary. There were so many people around. I still have PTSD. I'm I'm like that every day, all the time. You don't like football. You're lying. It's boring. But they say that because then if they like football, then they have something to talk about with the boys. They can play catch with the boys. They can hang out with the boys. And the boys like them. So then the boys are like, hey, she's cool. She likes football. I think most of the guys know, though. They know that the girl's lying. But they're like, hey, she's literally making a fool of herself just to impress us. We like that. Versus they ask me, they're like, yo, hey, Sarah, do you like football? And I'm like, no, football's boring. And they're like, screw you, Sarah. Get out. And I'm like, boys, don't you respect that I'm at least honest? And they're like, no, we still hate you. Because we just like to hate. And I'm like, okay, then get out. Because I don't want to talk to you anymore. Because you're mean. You're just mean little nasty. And I've always hated you. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's the same thing. Girls pole dancing. Girls liking football. Hey, girls. Happy to just be for the girls. Hey, girls. There's no need to lie. Let's just start telling the truth. Please. That's all I'm asking for. Okay, speaking of the truth, I have a Bible verse I want to read, if that's okay. Or will that offend you? Will you be offended? Okay. I feel like I have a lot of props today. Okay. All right, so let's read Proverbs 26, chapter 26 in the Amplified Version, always, and verses 24 and 25. Okay. He who hates disguises it with his lips, but he stores up deceit in his heart. When he speaks graciously and kindly to conceal his malice, do not trust him. For 7 abominations are in his heart. And I think it's super true. I think it's a great verse. A lot of people are being fake when they talk to you. People that are literally hating you are speaking graciously and kindly to you. And sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. Sometimes it's hard to know. But there is a little thing called discernment that is very helpful. And it kind of can give you a view into, hey, is this person being legit? Or are they being liars and fakers? And I think it's very important because I've had this happen. There was a job many years ago that I had where the boss, I came onto the team and the boss was just showering praises on me, loved me so much. And it didn't make sense to me why he was being so gracious with me, so kind. And, at first you could just be like, well, Sarah, he's just being great. He just likes you. But I was like, but he has no reason to like me this much. And I was a little suspicious of it. I'm not a very negative person, actually, believe it or not. I try to see things, for the positive. But I would hear this same boss talk about other people on the team in such a negative way. And so I was like, I think this guy, it's almost like he'll hire an employee on the team. He'll fall in love with this employee. Then after he gets used to them, he gets sick of them, and then he hates them. And then he tries to get rid of them. And then there's a new employee. He falls in love with that new employee until he gets too used to them and he gets sick of them. And then he hates them and then he tries to get rid of them. And then he falls in love and it's this endless cycle. And I noticed it. And wouldn't you know, he got sick of me and he didn't like me. It's amazing how that happens, isn't it? So he had hatred in his heart, but he was being gracious and kind. So you really don't know what you can trust. But you got to be careful who to trust. Because there's snakes. There's little. But I think the real solution to it all is, Lord, surround me with righteous, honest people who are genuine and kind and authentic. and remove the people that aren't. Let the people that aren't have no effect on me and have no influence in my life. That's a good prayer, for real, because we have to be so careful. Yeah, there's so many people in my life that they've done me dirty. They've done me wrong. And then I can be honest. I know I've been kind of fake with some people in my life too. And it's like, we need to fight to be authentic, because there's already so many lies in the world. We don't need to be one of them, you know? Write that down. Write that down. So yeah, I love the Bible because like it talks about this kind of stuff. It talks about everyday stuff that we deal with. Everyday stuff. We're always talking to people. We're always dealing with different people. And it's important to know what to look out for, what to watch out for. And God blesses us with wisdom. And, a lot of people have knowledge, but they don't have wisdom. You got to use your knowledge wisely. You can't just have it. And yeah, there's a lot of people, they know a lot of stuff, but they don't do anything with what they know, you know? So God can help us. He can help us. And Jesus loves us, by the way. Do you believe me? Do you believe me? You should. Yeah, I think Jesus really loves us, and he's looking out for us. And yeah, all the things that we're looking for from people, like, oh, I really wish this person would care about me. Oh, I want to feel close to someone. We already have that with God. And so then everything else is going to be okay. And we don't really have to rely on people. And we can love people and we can care for people, but the second you start to put someone up on a pedestal and give them an important place in your life, you got to watch out for that, because the second that you do that, then guess what? They're Lord over your life, and they can affect your emotions. They can make you cry. You notice how some people, they can say the meanest thing to you, and it's like, it has no effect. You're like, I literally don't care about anything you have to say. But then a certain other person that you do care a lot about can say the same thing, and you're in tears for weeks. You got to be careful who you allow to have influence in your life. And that's also on Mary Had a Little Lamb, whose fleece was white as snow. So yeah, I've been, being more careful on who I have in my close circle as well, because I can't just be reckless with it. It doesn't mean you have to be mean to people or anything, but you have to be really careful nowadays. And people can put on a facade, and you gotta, and all the lingering thoughts you had in the beginning, all the doubts you had in the beginning, listen to those, because they're probably right. They're probably right. So it's very important to take note of that kind of stuff. And let people speak less with their words, but with their actions is another thing that I think is very important. Someone cares about you? Does someone care about you? Well, let them show it. They never text you back? They never answer your calls? I don't think they care about you. So take for it what you will and move on with your life. Seriously. As hurtful as it is, it's just the truth. We gotta wake up. We gotta shake out of it. And so I'm grateful for the people that I've been meeting that have been very kind and genuine. And it doesn't mean I'm even 100% sure of them, but I'm like, I'm not going to give all myself to them, but I'm like, yeah, I really appreciate that. Like, thanks. I would love to meet with you in the morning for coffee. Yeah, I would like to hang out with you. Yeah, I would like to have a fun movie night with you. And just take for it what you will and be cautious. And then over time, you will know for sure if this is a good thing or not. So, okay, I don't know where that came from. Sorry. But yeah, guys, I hope you're doing well. And if you have any goals throughout the week, tackle those goals. And guys, I am praying that the audio actually worked on this episode, or I'm going to jump. It's not going to be pretty. You won't want to see me jump. I'm going to be really upset. But yeah, guys, I care about you. I love you. I send love to you right now. Little hugs and kisses. Hug, hug, hug. Hug, hug, hug. Okay, guys, you have a great rest of your week. Goodbye.